How Ted Bundy's capture unfold dead. You are watching CrimeBot Chronicles, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so to encourage us reveal more dark true crime stories. Let's begin. You ever look at someone and think, nah, they couldn't hurt a fly? That was Ted Bundy. Suave. Law student. The kind of guy you trust to watch your dog while you're out of town. But behind those piercing blue eyes was a monster. And when the mask finally slipped, America realized it had been shaking hands with the devil. It started in the early 70s. Girls were disappearing up and down the Pacific Northwest. Co-eds, mostly young, bright women. They'd vanish in broad daylight. No signs of struggle. One minute they're walking to class, the next, gone. And the cops? They were scratching their heads. Between 1974 and 1978, Bundy was a ghost. A phantom predator. Police departments in Washington, Oregon, Utah, and Colorado were all working cases with the same MO, slender brunette women, parting their hair down the middle, disappearing near campuses, libraries, parking lots. But no one could pin it, until a young woman named Carol Durant broke the silence. November 1974. Murray, Carol was approached at a mall by a man claiming to be a cop. Said her car was broken into. Wanted her to come with him. She got in the car, but something felt off. Then he pulled over. Tried to handcuff her. One cuff on, one off. Carol fought like hell. Kicked, screamed, bolted from the car. She made it. She lived. That near escape? It cracked the Bundy illusion. Police had a description. The net was tightening. Bundy moved. Kept it moving. He bounced from state to state. Colorado. Utah. Back to Washington. Then Florida. Each time, he changed his name, his look, his game. But his sickness? That stayed the same. He stalked, lured, and killed. And it only got worse. In Colorado, he was arrested in 1975 for possession of burglary tools. But law enforcement finally connected the dots. Bundy was tied to multiple disappearances. He was charged with the kidnapping of Carol Durant. Then, out of nowhere, he escaped. Yep, escaped. Bundy jumped out a second-story courthouse window while acting as his own attorney. Just vanished. Was missing for days. Eventually caught. But guess what? He did it again. Escaped again. This time through a ceiling vent in his cell. By early 1978, Ted Bundy was in Florida. And the nightmare was about to reach its bloodiest chapter. Florida, 1978. Bundy found himself at Florida State University. Posing as Chris Hagen, he rented a room near campus. But he wasn't there to study. He was hunting. January 15th. The Chi Omega sorority house. At around 3 a.m., Bundy slipped in through a side door. What happened over the next 15 minutes was nothing short of evil. He bludgeoned Margaret Bowman to death with a piece of firewood. Then strangled Lisa Levy, biting her so hard he left a deep impression, an imprint of his teeth. He beat and attacked two more girls, Karen Chandler and Kathy Kleiner. They survived barely. Their faces unrecognizable, bones shattered. And just like that, he was gone again, fading into the night. The scene was chaotic, blood everywhere. But one thing stood out, the bite mark. That would become key later. Bundy left a signature he couldn't erase. He wasn't done. A few weeks later, Bundy abducted and murdered Kimberly Leach in Lake City. Her body was found months later, in a pig shed, decomposed. It was the most heartbreaking kill. Even seasoned detectives said it haunted them. February 15, 1978. A stolen VW Beetle, a minor traffic stop in Pensacola. An alert cop, David Lee, spotted a suspicious guy. Bundy kicked, fought, ran, but he was tackled. Cuffed. At the station, he gave a fake name. Wouldn't say who he was. Then finally, after hours, he whispered, "I wish you had killed me." They knew who he was now. Ted Bundy. And this time, he wasn't getting out. The trial? A media frenzy. Bundy represented himself, again. Smiled for cameras. Cross-examined witnesses. Some days, it looked like he was acting in a TV show, not fighting for his life. But the evidence? Overwhelming. The bite mark matched his dental impressions. Hair fibers, eyewitness accounts, survivors. The jury didn't take long. Guilty. Sentenced to death twice. But Bundy wasn't done playing games. Florida State Prison, 1980. The cell was small, concrete, quiet. Ted Bundy, once the charming law student, the self-proclaimed genius, was now inmate number 045679. He spent his days in a 6 by 9 foot box with nothing but a Bible, some legal pads, and the ticking clock toward death row. But if you thought the story ended with the guilty verdict, nah, Bundy wasn't done yet. Even behind bars, he played puppet master. He filed endless appeals, dragged the legal process out for nearly a decade. Some people thought he was stalling, trying to cheat the chair. Others? They believed he loved the control. Loved knowing that families of his victims were still watching, still waiting. He made the nation wait. Bundy used death row like a stage, spinning narratives, denying murders, then dangling bits of truth like bait. He gave interviews. Lots of them. And every time he opened his mouth, people leaned in, even if it was just to hear evil whisper. In 1984, Bundy reached out to criminal profiler Robert Keppel. He described returning to the corpses to wash their hair, apply makeup, sometimes do worse. He said the urge wasn't about sex. It was about control, about owning someone completely, even after death. That was the true face of the man America once called too handsome to be a killer. He admitted to the murder of Kimberly Leach. Her body had been found dumped in a pig shed. That was the case that really shook the nation. Even his own mother cried in court, whispering, "I don't want my son to die." But the public? They were done with sympathy. By 1989, Bundy had run out of lifelines. Protesters gathered outside the prison chanting, "Burn, Bundy, burn." Vendors sold t-shirts and hot dogs. This was Ted Bundy's execution day, and the whole country was watching. Bundy's final words? "Give my love to my family and friends." Then, the switch was pulled. Smoke filled the chamber. Outside, the crowd cheered. He had always thought he'd be remembered as brilliant. Instead, his name became a cautionary tale. Ted Bundy, once the boy with the perfect smile, was a killer, a manipulator, a pathological liar. He used charm like a weapon and left a trail of broken lives. But the real legacy? The women who fought back. The detectives who never gave up. The truth that finally shattered the lies. This wasn't just the story of how Ted Bundy got caught. It was the story of how he lost. And how justice, slow and battered, finally caught up to the devil in a suit. Like this video? Hit that like button, subscribe to CrimeBot Chronicles, and turn on notifications for more chilling breakdowns of the darkest criminal minds in history. Drop a comment below. Was Ted Bundy a true mastermind or just a lucky manipulator who finally ran out of luck? Stay safe, stay smart, and don't talk to strangers. Until next time.